we again. Sit back, relax, we got the brain of Ben. No need to stress in the house, it's Van Bellen. The game is windsurfing, you can't yell them or tell them. We get the news, the views, the win biz. The brand's gear, just plus the world's best quiz. Carbs, PWA. We're professionals without the pay. There's nothing in pole dancing that we won't chat. From tandem boards to a windsurfing cat. It's your one-stop shop for a laugh and listen. Tune in each week or you'll be doing the missing.
Ooh, 4 people tuning in. We are back in 2025 for the last time ever in 2025. Paul Van Bellen, that looks like a nice magazine you've got there, mate.
Sorry, Ben, I didn't know we were live. I was enjoying this new Windsurfer mag.
I still haven't got mine. Oh, look at that. What a legend. I haven't even got it. Okay, I'd just like to, apologize for the lack of podcasts. It's totally on me. And I promise in 2026, I will get better. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Look at that. That is a cool magazine. We're going to be talking about 2025, the good things, the bad things. And the one good thing is there is a new windsurf magazine a launch of a windsurf magazine in windsurfing. I think that's pretty cool. Let me know if any of you ordered the magazine. There has been a few problems in Europe. I am one of them. Because it's coming from the UK and they are addressing that, I've heard, in the next one. So I think I've had to pay to receive the magazine, which is not ideal. Pay to get it imported into Portugal or whatever they do. So yeah, I'm excited. I like having a windsurf magazine.
I have to say, shout out to everybody involved in making this, because it is a very high quality magazine that excuse me, I'm getting emotional, that does windsurfing proud. I think that is honestly a fair assumption for this, because it's just a really nicely presented quality production with really nice photography, a lot of words in there, which is super cool. Also, I didn't pick any of the pages of words, but there is a lot.
Proud to have it on your table as a windsurfer. That's what I see it as. I see this as like a statement. Like when someone comes around your house, you're like, I'm a windsurfer.
Yeah.
It's on the table.
Yeah, but it's awesome because it'll actually take quite a long time to get through this. You know, it's not just and like the magazines of old, but there's a lot of ads and things, and it felt a bit. I mean, like how it was, but this feels a lot more. You definitely want to keep this. You want to keep.
Oh, that's cool, man. That's cool.
Super cool. Yeah, support them. Subscribe to it. Awesome.
Yeah, well, when I get a magazine, which hopefully is very soon, we will do a podcast with the guys that did the magazine, because I think it's like a big thing in windsurfing. It's not a thing that's going to make them millionaires. They're not going to probably make a lot of money at all. It is literally I think for the cause of windsurfing. It is like it's a passion project, if that's the right word, where they just want a magazine within windsurfing, and a few of them have got together, chuck some money in. They know, again, like I said, they know they're not going to make millions out of it or even make any money at it, but they want a magazine in windsurfing. I think that's so cool. That's so cool. So I think if you want one of those on your coffee table, and think of it as a statement, like if you're a windsurfer, what in your house says you're a windsurfer? A magazine was always there. We're all on websites now, but you don't have the website open when someone comes around. You want some, magazines in the toilet. Someone's sitting there. you gotta have it. You gotta have it.
You'll be happy to know in your article, Ben, that all the F-bombs have they've sort of made the words, haven't completed the words. So
less swearing. I was gonna say my article in there wasn't really meant for a magazine. I did it as a candid thing with JC, like when we were in Denmark. It was like a thing, and then it ended up going in the magazine. So I maybe would have changed a few of the answers and all that stuff. But anyway, I'll have a read of it. I haven't even read it myself. If you
want to learn more about Ben, it's an excellent. I learned a few things. About him.
He swears a lot.
I'd have to go through it. Sorry, Ben, I just sort of rudely interrupted you as you're about to go on some.
No, I was gonna say, look, we know there's not going to be many people tuning into YouTube today. It is obviously New Year's Eve. I think we did one on New Year's Eve last year as well, but we thought we should really see out 2025 with a podcast. Obviously, Paul is over in Perth, Australia. So what time is it? You might be quite close, are you?
It's 7:18 p.m.
Okay.
But over on the east side of Australia, it's 3 hours ahead. So there, it's 10:18. So they're less than 2 hours from New Year's.
New Zealand might already be there.
Yeah, good point.
Close.
Actually, that's a very good point.
New Zealanders.
Fiji would be.
Fiji. Yeah. So anyway, we're going to talk about 2025 and a little bit of 2026. What are we going to start off with? Give me some standout moments for you, Mr. Van Bellen. We haven't prepped this, obviously, because this is one of these random chat podcasts. We got 18 people tuning in. We are like absolutely flush. But give me a standout moment for 2025 for you. Can be anything. Can't be anything. Who have we got?
Standout moment for 2025. That's a good question, actually. I mean, it's probably okay. This might be a bit of a boring answer, but generally, when I think of 2025 for my year, it was a peaceful year where I was able to indulge in windsurfing when I could. I was able to make a few videos. I live a pretty simple life here in Geraldton. I'm just very thankful for it. So I think, as a generalized answer, I just feel very fortunate to be doing what I do. It's not like one particular thing, but that'll be my answer, Betty. How about you, mate?
I have had a frigging crazy year. It has been ridiculous. Yeah. I don't even know how I've made it through. I don't know what it looks like on the outside, but frigging inside, it has been carnage. I am literally putting out fires left, right, and center. We've got new baby this year. We obviously got the other one getting older. We got just done like doing a new website. We've just been trying to bust out the commentary and the and make it all happen. Juggle about 1 million balls. So I'm hoping 2026 will be a little bit more calm down, just a little bit. Like I don't want to calm down too much, but I feel like my brain is like. But we've got new things coming. The problem is my brain is always wanting to do stuff. It's just my life has got, it's the kids, basically. Anyone who's got kids will know what you think it's going to be like and what it is like is not, even if you really imagine, like, I don't want to say the worst case scenario, but like the craziest scenario, it's like ridiculous. I don't even know how I didn't have so much time before. Like, I must have wasted a lot of time before because now I don't even know how I'm fitting all this stuff in. It's ridiculous. Anyway,
you make time. You make time.
Well, yeah, you do. You realize that.
A bit of trivia for anybody here listening live. Which sailor had the biggest impact on Ben Profit? You can give the answer over the next few minutes as we talk. Have a guess. Anyway. Yeah, I think with you as well, Benny, there's been a lot of foundational building, isn't it? Obviously, you've got 2 children now. You're building these websites. You're fixing houses. There's a lot, like you're doing a lot of stuff to prepare yourself for the future as well, huh? So.
Well, yeah, I'm in that middle bit, aren't I? I'm nearly 50. My 48 in January. So I'm not far from big 50. When someone told me, 50 when I was in my 30s and my 20s, I would be like, oh my God, that's so old. But now I'm nearly there. I really feel like I'm mid-30s. Like I don't feel like I'm what my old self would have imagined as a 50-year-old. But I've got the responsibilities probably of a 50-year-old. So like you say, we have been doing the Sagres Surf Ranch. If anyone wants to stay in the Sagres Surf Ranch, it is kind of open for business. It's not 100% legally open for business, but we are taking reservations. Everything's ready. It's just we can't officially advertise it. If you want to come to Sagres.
And a tip as well, don't ever send anything in the post to his address.
Unless you're inside Europe.
Oh, it's true. Oh, is that what it is? They just hate anyone outside. I try to send Benny a little package with a few bits and pieces, and it's like trying to smuggle drugs into the country or something. I don't know what's going on. It's crazy.
It is ridiculous. I don't really get it.
We've got a few answers to who your favorite sailor is. Keep in mind, we're talking not necessarily somebody current, could have been from the past. We've got a Mark Perret here. We've got Robbie Swift, the UK connection. And Rasmus says, your dad. I'll give the answer. The biggest impact on Benny Profits, Peter Volwater.
Well, yeah, I can see that. There's a few, but definitely Pete. In my early PWA, he was the one. Oh, man. Like I said, I've told some stories before, but it is absolutely ridiculous when I look back. It's so funny. Like when you first come onto a tour, you don't have those expectations. It's like when the young kids go onto the world tour, they've got nothing and they just go and they usually smash out good results. And then the more the pressure builds and the more people expect things and the more people know you, then everything changes. It's kind of weird. Whereas those first years with Volwater, my God, I got some funny memories. Like instantly when you say his name, I've just got these maddest, craziest. Like it's not so crazy now on tour, but back then when I first started,
back in my day.
Well, I was at the end of the craziness. I was like in the tame stuff compared to the guys before me. But still, for me, coming from nothing to that, I was like, wow. And with Volwater, who was, at the crazier end of like, had experience in these places. So I was like, just fit into this crazy. Oh, funny, man. Funny.
I regret never meeting him since I have Dutch heritage. And I mean, maybe it doesn't mean that much. Like I grew up in Australia, but I saw him only once, and I was sailing down in Perth in the early 2000s, and I just saw this guy just cruising around in the ocean back and forth. And when someone, like you've got the regular sailor, you're hooked in planing along and all that, but when you see a elite sailor, just the way they move through the water is different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everything looks way more locked in. They're fully, like they're probably like using a size sail bigger than everyone else or something, and I could see this guy who was just fanging through the water. I was like, who is that bloke? And then I realized later it was Peter Volwater, but then I never saw him ever again. I never got to see him on land. I only saw him on the water. So I was kind of bummed I never get to meet him.
They're just solid, aren't they? Those, especially slam guys, they're solid. And then the wave guys, what I always find is interesting about them, when you see a good wave guy, if you go to Jero and see Jager, you see they're faster. And they're like ferreting around. Like I used to call it, like you can see them hunting. They're like hunting all the time. And when you come and you've got a camera, like obviously I film a lot, you're looking and you just instantly are drawn to these people. So I get some people saying, oh, you didn't get any video of me. And then you look at them and they're like going slower. They're not doing the fair. And you're like, that's why you don't pull me in. Interesting. Really interesting, actually, the good guys.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thanks so much. That's
the Liga. We got some. Is that Swiss francs? 5 Swiss francs. We're on it. I'm going to get a beer. I mean, it's going to the account.
No, that's awesome. Thanks to all you guys for 22. Actually, I should mention that actually probably another highlight for the year is just being involved in this podcast and being a part of a community. I think it's as a human, you want to feel like you're a part of a community, and this the windsurf community has been awesome. Having all you guys, whoever's listening, chiming in, it's great, isn't it? I mean, you've been involved, huh?
Yeah. No, but I totally echo that. It is really actually interesting. Like we should do more podcasts because just for the fact I like doing it. But it's interesting to have a place where you can kind of push all the ideas together. I know some people don't like these kind of chats where we haven't got a massive focus and don't.
Who doesn't like it, Benny?
No, but I know some people do like it. But I know there are people out there like, what the fuck is this?
These guys are just faffing on.
But I actually had JC on the message earlier, who's obviously coming over to Geraldton to cover the youth worlds, and I'm guessing he can do some wave rally and whatever. But he was asking me, what are my like New Year's resolutions? And I was like, oh, I don't even know. I just batted down a few. But it's interesting when you do that. I know it's a bit like cheesy, but it's actually interesting. One of them I think is to do more podcasts, and maybe, I know we've threatened to do this before, but get more guests in, random guests
definitely.
where we just get in for a chat, because I have got a new office. You can't see it. You don't want to see it. It's ridiculous right now, but I have got a new office finally.
Oh, that's cool. We haven't had any female guests there either, Benny. That's pretty bad.
But you know why? I've answered this question. But I've answered this question a lot of times. Weirdly, I don't like to use the word females, but females do not like podcasts with us for some reason. And they don't like them with Matt Check. Matt Check asked so many legendary women, but
they don't.
There's something about a podcast. If it's 2 hours, you're not prepared. You just talk. And some guys as well. It's not just women, but I would say on a whole, the ladies, not all of them, but a lot of them don't particularly like it. I don't know why. But that
Are we intimidating?
Well, I think we just blokes, and maybe it's not interesting for them. They're like, I don't. Why would I want to chat to you guys for 2 hours? I don't know. Like it is like we are men, and there is a certain sort of thing. Like I've always said, women can have they can have their own podcast and bring on loads of women. The reason they don't work is because actually not many women want to go on a podcast. So then it ends up being kind of male dominated as well. Again, not to say we can't have any women on. If there's any women out there, give us a call. But it's painful trying to get them. You're like, can you do this? Oh, no, I'm going to do this. Can you do it? No. And that is generalizing. Obviously, you have to sometimes in life generalize. But after a while of doing it, you go, well, we just default to what we know. And so that becomes friends that I'm dealing with a lot. I don't chat to a lot of women. Like look at me. I'm not like some smooth operator. It's chatting to all the girls.
I don't know, Benny.
That's why Mark Parray's been on a lot. You're going to use your contacts of who you've got and who is easy. And sometimes we're not so
easy
planned.
Woman. Yeah. No. Well, maybe that's our New Year's resolution, to just try and find a female guest to join us on the podcast.
If they want.
Actually. That reminds me, I had a few messages back and forth with Sarah Jackson, the social media titan, that's PWA, and I suggested she should come on for one day for a particular topic, because she's obviously someone who knows a lot of the ins and outs. Actually, on that as well, we had an interesting discussion. We may have touched this on before. She brought it up, and I said that I'd bring it up on the podcast. It was the question basically was, out of all the sailors in history, windsurfers in history, the Dunkerbecks, the Nashes, the Mark Parrays, whoever, if there was if we had a 1 year overall thing, just like racing and waves, and you had to be the overall champ out of all the sailors and if they could all just sail now, you know what I'm saying? Like, who do you think would come on top?
Sarah Keita.
Well, yeah, okay. In the women, Sarah Keita. Yeah. Oh, sorry. So obviously, women. Yeah, okay. Sorry. Sarah Keita, obviously, in the women is probably a very safe bet out of all the women in come and gone. And then the men.
Well, I mean,
it's tricky, isn't it?
It's different ages, but I think people forget how good Dunkerbeck was, and I really do think they forget.
Donkey.
He was freaking crazy. Like, yes, you're gonna, again, if it's just racing and waves, he's gonna be right up there in the waves. He's won wave world titles. It's not like it's not like he wasn't busting out the moves, and he was just destroying the racing. So I don't know. I think it's hard to bet against him. I think there's some kind of guys that, now on the new gear wouldn't fare as well. So like, the guys back in the day used to wear weight jackets. So, Baker was up there in the racing, but, he's not the biggest so with the new gear, it doesn't work. I think back then with custom gear, high wind racing, you could hold your own if you were smaller, but the bigger guys still had a bit of an advantage, but you were still there. But yeah, I mean, like, it's really difficult. Like, Al Bow's pretty freaking crazy as well.
Yeah, but in the waves?
Kevin Pritchard. Kevin Pritchard.
Kevin Pritchard, actually.
Kevin Pritchard
probably, because he's good at both. He's really
Matt
good at
Pritchard.
both.
Pritchards in general.
Yeah. Rasmus thinks still Robbie Nash. The only thing with Robbie Nash was he did struggle a bit in the slalom, right? He wasn't big enough, right?
But again, when they changed the gear. So Nash is a talented windsurfer, probably one of the most talented windsurfers maybe ever. Who knows? Because we can't really have them all head to head. But when he was doing well in slalom, I listened to the podcast with maybe on the Lenny. Was it Lenny podcast? Did he do Robbie Nash a bit ago? I listened to a podcast with Robbie Nash, and he said basically, as soon as they changed the gear, I think it was to the upright fins, where you're driving off the rail, you needed to be bigger. And that was when he's sort of, and I can definitely attest to that. I love racing. And this almost brings us into the wave rally, which we'll talk about in a minute, but it doesn't favor the big slalom guys when you've got smaller fins. Then the jibing, the speed, the getting going, all that comes more into play. And I like that, Don't get me wrong. I love watching the big guys fanging full speed right on the fin, but it takes out the small guys, which I think, again, I've said this a million times before, but I love to see smaller guys racing. I think it's equally as interesting, even though they're not as fast. And this goes into Formula One. Yeah, Formula One's the fastest, but watching rally, watching MotoGP is absolutely amazing, I think, compared to the Formula One. So you don't have to be the fastest to get the best racing. But yeah, there's a few people in that line, but I think Dunkerbeck, I mean, bloody hell. Like the time has a way, you see it in every sport, people talk about certain players in football or basketball. And then as time goes on, they start to dismiss them a little bit, because, or they carry on playing and they start judging them because they're like, of their now, how they are now, and you think that kind of taints sometimes how good they were. I think it's difficult.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. It's kind of an interesting question, but I think the other aspect to this is back in those days they had to be all rounders, didn't they? So they were training for all of them.
Yeah. And I like that. There's not many people doing that anymore. And that is a shame because, when I said Pete Volwater had a big influence on me, it's because when I was growing up, he was in the magazines as a youth and he was winning these youth slalom events and whatever. Then freestyle came out. He was hanging it in the freestyle, and then waves. He was doing doubles and doing crazy. He was doing like everything. And I'm still a massive fan of everything. Like in my windsurfing shed, I have got everything. And I'm not the best at everything, but I enjoy all the different disciplines of windsurfing. And I think that's becoming almost forgotten, that's why, I like to watch Tati. He's doing slalom. He's doing freestyle still. He still can do some jumps in the waves. I like to see these guys crossing over. And it is really interesting seeing like Matteo Iachino out in the waves. I love it. That's seeing Maciek over in Australia in the waves.
Actually, I did see that Matteo in Maui. He was actually sailing really well in the waves, wasn't he?
Yeah. There's a few of them have got some good skills, like Gunnar Asmussen, speed guy or known for racing and speed. But when you see this guy on a wakeboard, when he was in Gero like years ago now, but he's going for doubles, like 100 odd kilos and making them. And he's really light on his feet for a big guy. You see Antoine Albo, another guy who's super light on his feet. Like, there's not so many like that. It's interesting. I like the overall. I really do. You mentioned
Maciek, and I had the pleasure of meeting Maciek in WA. He was here a few weeks ago. That was interesting. I haven't ever actually met him in person. We've had a few conversations on the podcast or on the phone. But that was interesting hanging out with Maciek.
You say that with a smile. Interesting. Did you get the Maciek treatment? Did you get the opinionated car journey?
No, all I'll say is, Maciek, if you're listening, don't ever come back. Okay.
The good thing with Maciek, if you've heard him on the podcast and you've never met him, you can tell you see his videos. He has got strong opinions, or he'll defend an opinion, which I like. I mean, it's amazing for a podcast and it's good for a conversation. But me and Maciek have had moments over the years where we've tussled in a good way, but they got quite heated, you know. But the good thing with Maciek and me, I can click the other way. I'm not someone who gets offended, you know, to the point where that'll be it for it. You know, like when there's a bit of banter, it gets to a point, it maybe goes past the line, but then the next time I see someone, I'm back to normal. Whether they are or not, I don't know, but I am like that. I think Maciek's like that.
You let it go. Just lets it go.
Yeah. So did you have any? I'm just looking at the smile.
Well, we had so many, I can't even remember them all. But no, it was no. It's all, Maciek, if you're listening, it was all just fun and games. But I think with Maciek, what he is too is because he's a high achiever guy. Obviously, you know, he's running a windsurf event. He was the world champion. He's doing charitable crossings of oceans, and you know, he's doing a hell of a lot. And I think he like when you deal with him, he's almost testing you as well, like by sort of getting into a bit of banter and just see what you can handle. I mean, that's how
good. I think that's a good way to say it.
Yeah. But then the thing is, if you don't crumble under the pressure, you can tell that he respects you. You know.
I did hear there was a podcast. What happened to the podcast?
No, Maciek, we love you, mate. All good. What's that?
There was a podcast you guys did on the drive.
Oh yeah. So because we went up north to do some wave sailing, and that was actually super cool. And then on the way back, Maciek set up his camera in the car, and I was driving, and we did a chat for, I don't know, hour and a half or something like that. Bit of banter, and Maciek has sent it off to someone to get the audio just cleaned up.
Okay, so it's still in the pipeline. It could happen. We might see it on.
Well, it's gonna come, I guess, at some point. Like it's just basically us chatting in the car and him just sort of asking questions, and we're just back and forth having a bit of a laugh and stuff. But anyway, Maciek was here. It was really cool. It's always great to see traveling pros come over and meet them, learn something. And
actually, I have a question. Carry on.
And I was going to say the funny thing I noticed with Maciek too was when I was sailing with him, and we're up north or somewhere, you cannot help when Maciek is on wave gear and you're near him, you want to race him. I was every time. Well, of course, you want the ego trip. You try and beat him. Obviously, when you're on wave gear, the speed differential is so much. I mean, he'd absolutely smoke me on slalom gear, but on wave gear, it's actually can be kind of hard to pull away, right? It's the boards kind of top out. It's so funny. But anyway,
he doesn't know he's in a race.
Yeah.
I hate to say this. I always hate that type of person where I'm in a race, but I don't know it. So I get back to the beach. I'm like, had a nice sail. And someone goes, got you. I'm like, hang on a minute. I wasn't racing.
Yeah, I know, but when you see someone around you, you're automatically in a race, Eddie.
Yeah,
no, it's pretty much.
You're right. Yeah, exactly. It's not mentioned. RC Olsen says, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, RC. He says, like Ricardo, the passion shines through. Yes, I can definitely see that. I've seen someone saying Oda Johanna for the podcast. Yes, she's been on the podcast. We have had women on the podcast, females on the podcast. It's just, I don't know. It's normal. I think guys normally chat to guys. Like if you look at podcasts in general, it is a very male-dominated thing. Mm-hmm. And there is a reason for that. I'm not saying it's not just us. It just seems to happen that way. I think it's normal. There's not many women I ring up for a chat for, but me and Mr. Van Bellen, we end up chatting anyway, like podcast star for a couple of hours. It's like that's just how it is, I guess. But we will try.
We've done as many podcasts that haven't been recorded than that has been recorded almost. Yeah.
I'll be honest. I saw this video. I know we're going a little bit off topic, but it was about this podcast, and there was women moaning. Oh, it's too many.
Like a good moaning?
No, but they were like, "There's too many male podcasts. It's not fair." And you're like, "Well, create your own podcast." Like,
I never saw this. What was
I
this?
know this was not on windsurfing. This was just in
Oh,
podcasting sphere, and it was like I remember watching it again. It just made me think. I was listening to this woman going, "It wasn't fair," and I was like, "Hang on a minute,
go do it yourself."
it's just if you have an audience, you're going to get paid more for podcasting." It was a totally random podcast, but I just remember watching it thinking, hang on, there's no barriers to entry of podcasts. You just put a camera on, talk to whoever it is, and if people tune in, then you're going to get like, there we go. Women are not as nerdy. I think it's true. I think, again, we're generalizing. I don't want to get clipped up here. Not that happens in windsurfing.
You're a sexist pig. Benny.
No, but that's what I mean. You could easily take this out of context and go,
"Oh, wait till I edit it."
Fucking don't you dare! That's the sort of thing. That's the sort of thing you will do on New Year's Eve. Is fucking make me look like a sexist pig. But it's true. Like, we talk about some boring stuff to most people, but there is a majority of men that actually enjoy it. That's it. I can't say any. Some of the shit I listen to, Vilma would never. She'd be like, "What are you listening to?" I'm like, "I don't even know, babe. I'm just listening to."
Yeah, that's a good point. Obviously, we're coming from a male perspective, and maybe it's not always appealing.
Yeah.
To women out there.
2025. I'm going to run through some stuff. Okay, firstly, the Wave Rally happened for the first time. We've got to talk about
we're going right back. We're going right
well,
back. Okay.
It's the beginning of 2025.
Cool.
That was like the first event of the year.
Well, you're talking to the right guy. Yeah.
Why? What, are you something to do with the Wave Rally? The Wave Rally guy was meant to send me some hats, some posters, never turned up. Gutted. But anyway, I honestly, the Wave Rally, I think, honestly, that has been, and I'm not just saying this because you're here. Well, maybe I am, but it is what the sport needs. There needs to be more of them around the world, which I know is not going to happen because it's a ball ache organizing competitions and not everyone's going to do it. But I can see by the success you had and the feeling that I know I would, if I was everywhere near Australia at that time of year, I'd be straight in because it looks like a fun event. It is a fun event. The concept, the way the ranking works, the way everyone gets to sail the equal amounts. Like, I just think the whole thing makes a lot of sense for windsurfing. And the brands need to maybe get behind this concept into everywhere else. I think we need more of these type of events. I think this is fun. Gets people into racing who are not got the gear. And I think this is the barrier at the moment. And otherwise racing will die and the Olympic side will thrive. I don't see how it's going to, I don't know. I think we need to get people, kids, just into racing in general, and the rest will sort itself out. But there needs to be an easy one. And I think the Wave Rally, it'd be interesting. How are you going? Because this one is coming up soon, isn't it? When is it? Like 10 days or something? Week and a half?
Yeah. So update for this year. It starts on the 9th of January. So we're almost in the first. So it's about 9 days away. And I've been checking the forecast probably 40 times a day for the past week.
Yeah, I'm going to say.
And
how's the heart?
Actually, Don't ever organize a windsurf event. It's actually, no, obviously we want you to organize windsurf events. But if you think you look at weather forecasts a lot when you're just a normal windsurfer, like times it by 10 when you organize an event. But I'm all organized. Like the actual organizational thing, I feel very organized because I had done it the first year. I had a lot of the foundational things in place and just added a few bells and whistles this year. And obviously making everything happen with the sponsors, which takes a lot of time. This year, a slight sort of controversial thing that's happened that I might as well touch on because it has been a reality for me. But Wave Rally goes from the 9th to the 11th of January. And we're fortunate this year in Geraldton that we've got quite a few events happening. So actually, well, the first event that's happening is this weekend. There's a Cervantes. So Cervantes is a town 2 hours or so drive south of Geraldton, and it's a really good spot for slalom. It's like a big bay. You may have seen videos on YouTube.
Windy, crank in there.
Super windy. It just seems to be windy all the time, and that's been a pretty long-running event sponsored by Tribal, and the people behind it are passionate, and the last few years they get about 50 sailors, so it's a pretty good turnout.
Okay.
And
good.
it's just and they just blast across the bay, and it's a really good event. So that's happening this weekend. Then the following weekend, we've got Wave Rally going from the 9th to the 11th. And then traditionally, last year was the first year of Wave Rally, but there's another event called the Oceania Youth Events, which basically starts straight after Wave Rally, and that's basically for under 21s. So they have all different categories for under 14s or 16s or whatever. So they have a wave events, they have coaches. It's basically a week-long celebration / competition targeted at under 21s. And that's been a really positive thing for windsurfing here. Like last time they got about 50 kids. It's pretty impressive to get 50 kids under 21 in an event anywhere in the world, I would have thought. So that's also happening. However, this year there's a third element during this week, and there's an under 18. And it's a bit of a mouthful because I don't know exactly how it was to say it, but it's an under 18 wave world youth title, basically. Okay. And Ben, you might be a bit more up to speed with it because it's something a bit new for me. But essentially, they have the final at a different location each year, right?
Yeah, it's essentially the final of the series, but I think it used to be like a one-off, and now it's part of a series where they've given it double points. So basically, it makes a massive difference. If you don't go to that event, you pretty much can't win the world title. So it kind of makes it compulsory without saying it's compulsory. I think that's kind of how it is. So it's kind of trying to make it part of the series without making it just a one-off event, and trying to give it these extra points. So in theory, it should encourage more people to go, although Geraldton is on the other side of the world for most of the guys that have done this. So, but you could also argue that it's on the same side of the world for people like Jake or, someone like this who have then traveled to these other places. So I don't know. It'd be interesting to see who turns up actually for that, for that event.
Yeah. So basically it's an under 18 event, which is great. But the organisers have made the waiting period for this event from the 10th to the 18th. So there's a 2-day overlap with Wave Rally. I wasn't stoked about it because basically in windsurfing, there's only so many people to go around. And even though you think of an event and think, oh, well, it's only under 18s, it's not like there's thousands of them, so it's not going to affect you. But of course, it's not just about the kids. The kids come with their parents. The parents probably windsurf. Then there's the volunteers. Then there's the judges who windsurf. And so there's a whole...
okay, so you're going to lose a few of them. Is that what you're thinking?
Well, what's happened was that quite a few people that would have done Wave Rally can't do it because obviously there's an event overlap. So that was a bit of a bummer for me just because you put so much effort in and you're sort of building a momentum. However, but now that's the decision was made and that's how it is. On the positive side, there'll be a lot of people descending on Geraldton at that time, which is fantastic. And also because of these events all happening at once, it'll be a great opportunity to socialize, mingle, just feel like the windsurf community is alive and well. There's a Wave Rally party on the Saturday night. Everyone from all these events will descend on. So it's going to be probably a fair bit bigger than last year. So that'll be fun. So obviously the whole Wave Rally thing is it can run from 5 knots up, basically. If the wind is light, I've got these inflatable wind subs that you race on, which we did for probably 80-90% last year. This year, the forecast is definitely looking a lot more promising for wind.
Okay.
But it's changing daily. It's terrible to look at long run forecasts.
It's like you don't want to look at it.
It's terrible. Like, you wake up in the morning and every day is 25 knots, and you go, oh, this is going to be epic, and then later in the afternoon it's 10 knots. And you go, oh God. It's just, it's an emotional roller coaster ride. But I basically, from what I can see, I'll be surprised if it's worse than last year. It's trending more to a better forecast than a worse forecast.
It looks like I had a quick look at the forecast. It looks like the pattern is in. It's just whether you get the windy bit of the pattern or the light wind. But it looks like it's the right direction from what I could see. Bastian saying Midsummer Wave Night in Belgium or De Shop à la Shop in Whistle. As the same spirit of Wave Rally, exactly. I've seen those events over the years, and they look fun. And this is I think this is where we need to be going with windsurfing, because we hear a lot of negative stuff about the way windsurfing has gone in 2025. But as we've talked about before, I don't think windsurfing has ever been in a better place in terms of gear. But there is more options. For example, wing-a-ding-dinging foiling has took a few people away. I think this is a temporary thing, which I think we will see people back. But I think it's hurt freeride more than it's hurt waves. I think most people who are winging have still got windsurfing wave gear, if that's what they did before. But maybe the freeride side of it has lost them. But I think the freeride on a wing gets boring once you can do it. That's my personal opinion. And I think that will change a little bit over time.
But that's good that Bastian mentioned that. I meant there was actually 8 Belgian guys that were visiting WA a few weeks back, and they all came obviously as a group, but they were mentioning about that midsummer that thing, and nights in Belgium. So if you're in that area, you should definitely get involved. That sounds super fun. Same sort of idea as Wave Rally, I guess.
Although there's alcohol involved, that's not going to.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah. Yeah, here it's a little bit. It's funny because to serve alcohol and stuff, you need a license, and there's a bit of a rigmarole in Australia. They love rules and all sorts of stuff. So I kind of just say to people, look, bring your own beers and you can have them, but I'm not going to set up a bar there because it all just gets complicated. It's just, I don't want to have to deal with it basically. One other thing before we move on, I'll just see if this works because this is kind of interesting.
Casper says, "Happy New Year, boys! Happy New Year, Casper."
Thank you, Casper. This might be interesting for some people who are into geeking out about events. But the other thing with Wave Rally, as it's developed, or this concept, was that last year the rules were you had to have max 5 batten wave sail, max a minimum 2 fins, like a multi-fin wave board. That was essentially the general gist of it. What ended up happening was, people being people, they look at ways to, exploit the rules, so to speak. And, we had people rocking up with 7.5 meter 5 batten sails.
Ben Saverne.
Thruster boards with fins on it that were like 40 centimeter center fins. And, so it got a little bit out of hand. Also because the wind was light. If the wind was 25, 30 knots, it wouldn't have mattered as much, but it was because it was light. So,
it will make a difference, the fins, even in the wind.
Oh, yeah. Fins are massive, yeah. And also, for example, you'd have certain boards like a Saverne Dyno or this type of board where they can be set up with a dual foot strap. Like you can have either inboard foot straps or outboard foot straps. So, you set it up as outboard. They've got 2 foot straps at the back, a 40 centimeter fin, but it's still technically within the rules because it's got 3 fins. And obviously, So basically, there was a lot of goings on with people discussing all this. Oh, what are we going to do? And I basically come up with this concept that from now on, there's a max sail size depending on your weight, and there's a max fin size. And this will be the first time that this happens for this event. But I've given it a fair bit of thought. I've trawled the different brand websites to see what fins boards come with, just to get a general sense. And hopefully this will go a long way to even out the playing field and basically not turn this into a full-on equipment race, Formula Ones. Well, actually Formula One has a lot of rules. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
No, makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah. And it's going to be a lot more fun because at the end of the day, it's a fun event. But what makes it fun is when you can jump in a race with someone and feel like you've got a chance, even though, you know what I mean? Like if you get in a race with someone and they're just overlapping you it just doesn't, it's not that fun, right? So anyway, that's
weight categories. I'm just looking at that. Women's open, all women, lightweight men under 77 kilos, middleweight men 77 to 87, and heavyweight men over 87. How do you work that out? Is there any crossover? What if someone is 77.5 and then they drop to 7? How does it work?
Yeah, what you don't see in this document, this is part of the notice to race document. Above, there's a few other sentences explaining what's going on here.
Oh, okay.
These weight categories were based on last year's
entries.
Entries. We had 82 entries, and basically every male got weighed on registration. I had it all. I put it all down on an Excel sheet on the computer, and then divided it into 3 equal size groups. And it happened that there was one group under 77, one from 77 to 87, and one that was over 87. Okay. That's what it was. But this year. Yeah, and I basically just has that as a bit of a guide.
Okay. So this year could be different if a lot of fatties turn up.
Yeah, well, exactly. It'll probably be different, every year a little bit, but that's essentially what it came out last time.
Okay.
But essentially, because obviously if you stick to a rigid number,
then it's a problem.
Yeah,
no, but I like that. I like that idea, because then also you weigh them at the beginning. You don't have to keep monitoring their weight. So if they have a piss, you're not like, oh, well, you're out now because you're now too light.
Oh yeah, exactly. And look, it's not.
No.
It's not to be super crazy about it.
No, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And the thing is, for anyone who doesn't know, there's 2 ways you can win. You can actually win in a weight class, and there's an overall where the 10 best sailors, whether you're man, woman, or child, whatever, if you're in the top bracket of the heat structure, you go into this mega final. So, last year we had lightweights, heavyweight, middleweights, all in this top, and they all vie for the Wave Rally champion, so to speak. So you can either become you can have a new weight category. It's funny as well with the weight category thing, because we've talked a lot about it, with slalom in general, like how you said, it'd be good if there was a lightweight category. It's actually surprising. Most people are in favor of this. That's my general sense when you talk to people about it. But there are a few people that come up to me and say, why do you have weight categories for? Like, why not have it as like masters and juniors, or, this kind of thing. Yeah. But the thing is that I found personally, I could be wrong, but I found that weight was a much more interesting thing to compare than if someone is 25 years old or 45 years old. Because at the end of the day, if you can sail a windsurfer, you're all like whether you're 25 or 45, you're all moving in a pretty similar speed on a wave gear. I'm not talking about slalom here. I'm talking about wave gear. So all of a sudden, what makes the big difference is if you're 110 kilos or you're 60 kilos. Like, that's a way bigger difference than a few years in age.
Yeah.
So I just think the weight thing is it works really good. So that's that. There's just a few new things for this year, which I'll be excited to see how that goes. Oh, we've got Logan.
I think a few spot prizes for ages is quite good, though. Like maybe you got ages. Well, like a little, like the oldest or the best old guy or the best. It's quite nice.
No, definitely. Well, actually, on my entry list at the moment, the youngest is 14 and the oldest is 72.
Okay.
So I'll recognize that. I mean, 72-year-old entering the event. It's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the 14-year-old.
Yes, I think from what I've seen in the Deafy Wind and stuff like this, I think you don't need to give out prizes, but I think it is nice to be able to, the guys who are in it, to be able to see where they are in their age category, in their weight category. Again, this doesn't need to be complicated for you and you have to give out a prize, but they can walk away. Let's say they finish 8th, but they're the best over 55 or something, or something. And then they've got this thing to go away with, advertise the Wave Rally by saying, hey, finished here, the best. I think this type of stuff is quite nice. I've been telling other guys this, and not everyone agrees, but I think having a lot of categories doesn't need to say you have to have lots of prizes. But I think it is nice for the people involved to understand where they are and have all these different parameters. I've been trying to do it with the Water Speed app so I can like play around with this stuff, just because it adds that little bit of competition as well, like down the fleet.
Yeah.
When there's more categories, you can you can work your own competitiveness into different areas. Like, I know it sounds a bit over the top, but
no, that's right. I have no plans on changing it because I saw that it worked. Logan, so that comment that you just had before, he was at Wave Rally last year and he's entered again this year, so thanks a lot, Logan, for the support.
Cool.
He was a bit unlucky. He was actually a good chance of winning either his weight category or something, but that was the other thing too. When you watch the the footage. Unfortunately, I didn't get a lot of footage last year due to various reasons. This year, the plan is to document it better. But you watch a heat and someone's out at the front, but they only have to fluff one jibe or just get a bit stuck, or someone falls off in front, and then bam, their race is over. It's kind of exciting. I kind of like all that too.
Yeah, but that's the good thing about racing, and that I like your format. Like I think you said the Western Australian do that for their slalom races or whatever it was, but I like that format. I think that's a really cool format where the people at the back basically don't get less time on the water, which I think is massively key, because there's nothing worse than not being the fastest. So you need the practice and you want to get involved. And then you end up with one heat against the top guys. And then you're left not in that racing mood. Like the whole thing about racing is you've got your place to race, which is why the Deafy Win's good, because everyone gets the same thing. But for example, PWA, I know it's a World Cup, but if you're in the first round and you get knocked out, that's it, you're done. And you're like, okay, so I need the practice. I want the practice. I want to race, but I'm going against the best guys. So it just ends up falling away at the bottom, which the bottom is what builds the top. So you've got to look after the bottom to get to the top. This is just natural. So that's interesting.
Oh, definitely. Actually, I'm just trying to see if I can quickly bring this up, because you just brought something. Bear with me 2 secs.
Hello, Paul. Is there any live coverage for Wave Rally planned? Maybe fixed live camera?
No live, because as live. So basically the plan is, and thanks to Ben as well for his feedback, I originally had this idea to have a 3-hour video, which it basically as live, where it had the semi-final, it was kind of welcome to Wave Rally, here we are, blah, blah, blah. And there'd be the semi-finals, which is 8 of them. And then there would be the finals and then the wrap-up, which would take about 3 hours. But Ben made a good point that not everyone is going to sit through a 3-hour video. If you're keen, you will. But so what I'm basically going to do is just cut it up so that, you'll see the finals, each of the finals for the different categories. I plan to do a walk around. Ben does them really well. Maybe a 15-minute walk around where I'm just chatting with people, and here we are, just to get a sense of it. So there'll be separate videos, and I'll just drip feed them out as they're done, and that's how I'll do it. It's pretty tricky because I have limited budget with the videoing. You can spend big bucks on that, and right now I'm putting most of the resources in just to making the actual event as good as it can be, and then just doing a satisfactory job on the video things that I think will be you'll get the sense of what's going on. I was thinking it'd be nice to do a live streamy type thing one day, but it's to do live stream properly is it's expensive. I
think it'll work good. I think it'll work good because I say we because I'm going to be doing the commentary of the finals. So it'll be as live. If you haven't seen them, you will be able to watch them as if they are live. So we're going to do sort of as live commentary with all the finals from each category and then the overall final. And I think, again, as after speaking with Mr. Paul Van Bellen over there, I think this is the best use of that type of time. And then obviously Paul's going to do the walkarounds to give you a feel of the event, which I think makes sense, because I was telling him what I want to see, as a fan or as someone who's interested. They're the bits I want to see. I want to see what's happening, where the bits are. And, not everyone's interested in that type of walk around stuff. But I know when I've done it before, people I can see by the comments oh man, wow, I didn't realize that. Oh, that's there. Oh, that's cool. Some people on the other side of the world, they're never going to go to Geraldton. They're never going to go to the Wave Rally. Just logistically, it's impossible. So it's cool to see it as a walk around. I think this is cool.
Yeah, and I'll just explain what's going on here because you did mention about the heat structure. This is something that's a bit unique. I'm not the first person to do this, but it's not often done. There's 10 rounds. This is day 1, day 2, and day 3. So there's 4 rounds each day. And the way it works is that your name, you get into a heat round 1, right? So let's just say for argument's sake, there's 100 people, 10 heats of 10. that first round is a seeding round. So if you're in heat 3 and you come 4th in your heat, you go straight to heat 4, round 2. If you come last in your heat, you go down to heat 10. So this first round is a
Don't
seeding
fall
round.
off in your first heat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But then once you're in these heats, the top 4, like say you're in a race, the top, say 3 or 4, depending on how many people are in the heat, they move up a heat the next round. If you're in the middle, you stay in your lane. And if you're in the bottom 3 or 4, whatever, you go down a heat. Basically, it's like a snakes and ladders system. So over a few rounds, the better sailors will rise to the top, lesser sailors down to the bottom. So you end up versing people of a similar ability and trying to get out of your heat, if that makes sense. And then at the end, the top, like I won't get into it too much, but essentially at the last day, whoever's in the top brackets of their different categories goes into semis and finals and that sort of thing. The beauty of this system is everyone pretty much gets the same amount of sailing. There's about an hour and 20 minutes in between rounds. Because like if you do round heat 1 here, it takes about an hour and 20 minutes to get back to heat 1, round 2. And in between all those heats, you can just go free sailing. Unlike a wave competition, where basically you're you're stuck on the beach watching everyone else, which is fine. But this one, as long as you know when your heat starts, you can just free sail. So these heats are literally going to be flying through just free sailors on the water, which is also an exciting element. Which
it's a cool system. I like it. I think people should definitely adopt this for like local racing. I think it's a really cool way to get people involved because again, you can cut it down to 4 heats if you want, if you haven't got the people or whatever.
Well, and this is the other beauty of the system because I've been learning as I go. But let's just say you have a smaller event and you've got 30 people, which is still a good number of people.
Yeah.
But with this system, I can put up to maximum 10 people per heat. But you could have say heats of 6 and have five heats of it, and just you don't have to use the bottom ones or whatever. Like you can just you don't need 10 people. You just have whatever number you can to fill up the boxes, so to speak. So that makes it quite adaptable. So yeah, look, it worked. The first year I didn't have any reason why it wouldn't work, but obviously you don't know until you put it into practice. And there's really very little need to change it. It works. It's also nice. The volunteers, they go up there and they write it down and it becomes interactive. People are constant. Like this is a 3.5 meter banner that's sitting on the side of a container that's at the club. Everyone's, there looking at it and they're all discussing their places and they're all having a bit of banter. Oh, you moved up and I moved down. And you know what I mean? Like it's all that sort of stuff.
Cool. I like it. I like it a lot. I'd love to see more of this. Do you franchise this out? Is that a thing? I don't know, franchise, but have you ever been contacted by other people wanting to do something in some other country and use the same concept or the same name, or is that a thing? No.
I did have a bit of conversations with Tomasz, if you're listening, from Ireland.
Okay.
That right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Mayhem, Thomas.
Yeah. And he was discussing wanting to do something similar where he was, and obviously was just asking questions about it. So I did speak to someone about saying that they should do something like this on Maui, like Kanaha would be.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I think this thing, you could do it in so many places. Like, you could do it. Yeah. And the thing is, I'm not inventing the wheel here. They used to do this, right? This is the thing. And obviously,
I know you're not claiming. You're not claiming anything. I'm just saying.
Yeah. No, but like this Belgium race and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just trying to get back to some fun again. The other thing I will say, actually, this is, what am I saying? Targeted at any windsurfers listening here, but as an event organizer, I've come to learn as I go, but it's a tricky experience because what happens is that, I'm new to this, right? Last year was the first year. This is my second year, but you need to raise funds to run an event, right? Because the entry fees, unless you're just sticking a flag in the sand and that's it, but in this case, Wave Rally is a bit more complicated than that. You need to raise funds. So you need sponsors, you need government grants, councils. So what ends up happening is you go to these sponsors and councils and you're a salesman. You're standing there saying, oh, there's this event. It's cool. It's going to bring people into the community. They're going to spend money and, so you're basically having to ramp it up and talk it up a bit. So that there's that aspect. And then you've got an event. So then you go to the windsurfers and say, hey guys, enter the event. I need entries, because if you don't enter it, I've basically just told all the sponsors and councils that this is worth investing in.
Yeah.
What happens is that you speak to certain windsurfers. There's been a lot of support, but there's a lot of windsurfers. They're a bit apathetic. I don't think they don't understand this part of it. You say, oh, you're in Geraldton, you enter Wave Rally, support the event, and they're like, oh yeah, I don't know, like I'll just see what happens. Maybe I don't know, maybe the cricket's on that day, And the thing is, they don't have to do anything they don't want to do. But I think for the sake of event organizers and for the health of windsurfing, look at it as a way of giving back to the sport. If you do nothing else, then just enter an event and spend $150 or 150 euros or whatever that it is. Like, just see that as an opportunity to just give back and support the event in numbers. Therefore, it's a chicken and egg thing. The more numbers you get, I can go back to the council and go, hey, 100 people rocked up, and they're like, oh wow, yeah, okay, next year we'll double the amount. And then it just grows from there. But if you don't get the numbers, it all just starts crumbling in. And I think that, I'm sure this has happened a lot with windsurf events in the past, Ben, right?
I think it happens all over. I think people, I've said this to people, it's like, there is no guarantee there will be a world tour. There is no guarantee there'll be a national series. There is no guarantee that anything will happen. It doesn't happen unless somebody puts the work in. And when that someone puts the work in, and then people decide to support it or not, depending on a forecast or whatever, then it can just die like that, because it's a lot of work.
That's the
so
thing.
Anyway, I get it. We don't want to moan about it on.
No.
But I've seen it happen a lot, where people just think these things happen regardless of support. And the thing is, they don't. They don't. They basically work off motivated people. If you look at the UK, the wave scene at the moment feels very motivated, and Willie Angus has taken over. He's got kids that are involved, and this is not this has not just happened. He wants to make it happen because his kids are keen windsurfers. Now he's putting in his energy, and this doesn't just happen. Some people need. Anyway, it's just interesting. You see it with everything. Racing at the moment needs that driving force, like local WhatsApp groups. I've always talked about it. You need that driving force in that WhatsApp group, and then you have the other guys that help it, but you always need the one who's the keen one, the one that makes you go to the gym, the one that makes you go to the, and in WhatsApp groups, windsurf, and it's the one that's looking at the forecast going, right, let's go, and you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to, and then you go and you're always happier. Whatever you do, I'm sure it's not just me, but those moments where you think, oh, I don't know if I can be bothered, and you don't go, you never know what you missed. And when you do go, it's very, very rare, almost never, that I go, oh, I wish I hadn't have bothered. I always find some positive from whatever I've done. Doing it is always better than not doing it.
Yeah. And I just want to say too, I mean, I'm not saying this to be a moaner, but it's more just to give people an understanding. Like a lot of people probably haven't even given it much thought from an event organizer's point of view, or that sort of aspect. So I just wanted to make people aware that, obviously if you can support it, it just really, really helps windsurfing. Like we talk about, how can we make windsurfing better, or, support it. And events are one key aspect. Like, they're really key, because what I found is, like last time it was Wave Rally, you get people that just come down to the beach and they just see 50, 100 or whatever windsurfers there. There's an event happening, there's music, there's banter, people are chatty, and all of a sudden they walk away from it going, oh, that windsurfing seems pretty cool. And then you've just planted a seed in their head. And if there's no event, then there's none of that. So it's pretty. I've realized it's actually pretty important.
Wild Hild on the comments says a similar event in Tarifa, the Buddha, and I've seen that. That looks pretty fun as well. It's like with a flying beach finish. I think it's a beach start, a little slalom race, wave get. And every time I see those events on video, I think, wow, that looks fun. That looks cool. Super fun. We got A Team saying, good to hear your voices on New Year's Eve, legends. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. Makes sense. We've got good Happy New Year from Virgil. over in, I guess, Denmark.
Thank you.
Watching the mega final when the top 3 sailors throwing forwards on the second leg was impressive. I think that was like the preview one. And Jibe saying, just subscribed to 2026. Thanks for your effort watching every vid and podcast.
Awesome.
Very nice. Yeah.
Your original point was moving through 2025, and we obviously got stuck
in January.
January. So maybe you want to. So what happened after January? Because it's all a bit of a blur.
I had a baby, and the rest is a blur. Yeah. No. Like I said, I think 2025 for me wasn't the best for wind. We didn't have the best season as far as I'm aware here anyway. But I feel, I could be wrong with this, whereas the end of the season now feels like it's going well. So it hasn't gone well in Portugal. I've been ill. I've been terrible the last month. Like I had some sort of super bug. But I'm sort of just coming out the other side. But I've got Cape Town booked, obviously going to Cape Town in a few weeks. And Cape Town's had an amazing winter. The start of the season has been crazy. I've heard windiest for like, I can't remember, 20 odd years or something. Like
cool.
Fishermen are talking about, oh my God, this is like back in the old days. I've heard Oz has been pretty good up north. So they kind of usually aligned. So maybe this is the start of maybe a different pattern we're going to see. And maybe that means Europe is going to be back to normal. I don't know. What have you guys experienced out and around Europe? Have you had good seasons, bad seasons? Has the wind been the normal direction? Because I know we had a weird season a few years ago where it was more east. And people said they had good sailing, but it was different. Is it going back to normal? But I mean, for me personally, it's been good. Been hectic, been hard work. So I think 2026 has to be easier.
It's been pretty good here. It started off a little shaky, and then it started off good, then it went shaky. But the last few weeks has been howling. A few days ago, I've been in Geraldton 4 years, or this is actually my 5th season, I think. Yeah, but it was probably the windiest day I've experienced. Those gusts of 42 knots.
Wow.
Like usually Geraldton, it tops out about 35, and it just doesn't seem to go beyond that. But that day it was 42 knots. I was on a 3.7, and I could have been on a 3.3. I was fully stacked, like really powered up. So so this season's been good. And also the other thing is I was actually chatting with Ben Severn today about something, because he probably come up for the Wave Rally event. But I asked him what effect a windy summer has on sales, and he said, it's quite. He said this year's He just says, as soon as you have a windy season, everyone's pulls the gear out of the shed or needs to upgrade stuff. Yeah. So, I mean,
I think it's interesting how that works. Yeah, you say it's obvious, but it's kind of weirdly not that obvious. But when you think about it, obviously makes sense, because what I've noticed is if you get wind for a week, it has no effect. Wind for 2 weeks, the people who haven't been for ages start to be like, fuck, it's windy again. So if you have it for a month or whatever it might be, those people are getting reminded of this wind all the time. When it's one off day, they look outside, they go, it's windy. Oh, and then the next day there's no wind, and then there's no wind for a week. If you get that consistency, it's like it's tapping away at your head, like tapping away. Then you see the social media posts and the videos, and all that stuff helps motivate people to go windsurfing. Max says, I agree. 2025 has been poor wind-wise in the UK. Some health issues have stopped progress. Yeah, like I said, there's a few bugs and stuff going around, and certain problems. Rasmus says, Northern Germany has been really poor for wind. Yeah, it's been weird. It's officially measured by wind energy statistics. So it has been a shit year by the sounds of it. Terrible wind in Canada, Great Lakes this year. So it's been shit everywhere by the sounds of it. It's interesting. Summer wasn't great in Ireland, but wind foiling saved the day, says Steve. That's probably why the foiling has had a bit of more of an increase than probably it would have because of the wind. It was the best year I've ever had in Delaware, apparently.
Cool.
Maui year this year. So,
Maui year this year. So here is the 20. Oh, he's just saying, here is to 2026. He's going to Maui.
Congratulations. Oh, I thought you meant. I was like, It's already 2026. Simon said, it's been poor for me in the Netherlands, but it's also partly due to myself. Only one good single session after the summer holidays. Oh, my freaking God. To be honest, I haven't had many here in Portugal. It's been terrible. It's been a worse winter I can remember. Here in South Poland, October was so good, but every other month was shit.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed, because obviously Europe had the summer when it was winter here. Last summer for us was pretty average. This summer is better, so fingers crossed for all you guys in the Northern Hemisphere that the next summer is better, because the Southern Hemisphere is having a pretty good summer. So
yeah, I think it's related. That's my point. I think it's related.
Yeah.
New Year's resolutions. Come on, Paul. What are they?
New Year's resolutions. Well, probably just to continue. Well, God, New Year's resolution. The problem with New Year's resolutions is I often do say I'm going to start going to the gym, and it lasts about 3 days. Probably just to try to learn a few new moves. I'm still very scratchy on a few things. I'm not consistent in certain areas. So, if windsurfing wise, it's that
video series. What moves? Come on, I want to call them out. We ought to make some proper things here.
Well, basically, it's forwards and back loops. I can't. I'm just not consistent with it. Yeah.
Okay. Can you get them filmed? We should do a series.
Yeah. Well,
I want to help.
Yeah. It's kind of that's it. I need to get them filmed, I guess.
Yeah.
I need someone to film me. So yeah. But yeah, that's windsurfing wise. I've got my own personal things, with other things. But if we're talking windsurfing, it's basically that. What about you, Benny?
Hair transplant.
No, you got a turkey?
No, I'm not going there. I've got one that's to stay at 78 kilos. I got down.
You're at 78.
I got down to 76, 75. I've just had Christmas, so I've buffed up a bit. But my aim is to stay at 78. I think that's a good weight for me. I got up to 83. That's not right. I'm too short for 83. So I am going to try and stick at 78. These are the ones I wrote to JC earlier. I just come up with them on my top of my head. To do more travel trips, strike missions to fun locations to go windsurfing and video and stuff. I'd want to do that more. We've obviously got kids now, so it's not tricky, but I'm gonna try maybe some little travel-y, vloggy stuff to do more vlogs and travel stuff. Again, more on a strike mission forecast. Go. Could be anywhere.
But you talking about anywhere in the world, or just somewhere locally?
Anywhere. Could be locally, could be Europe, could be further afield. I don't know. I need to make them cost effective, because it's not so easy just to jump out. So if you are in a venue out there and you want me to come and do some video in with the family, and there's some sort of deal we can come to arrangement, I think there's a lot of spots out there which need to be put out there. And again, I think we've got a platform when we can show them to whatever conditions, like we did in Brazil last year. I went with the family to Brazil, which was obviously I was looked after by Club Ventos. Again, it was, let's say, paid for. But as I said to them, I'm just going to give my honest opinion. So if there's something wrong, I'm going to say it, because otherwise there's no point in doing a review of something where everything's rosy and it's shit. You've got to be honest. That's the only way to do it. So I want to do a little bit of that, because anyway, I'm just plugging myself here, but I think it's fun, and I'd enjoy to see a few more places.
Well, we were talking about trying to meet up for one of these sailing sessions. Yeah, hopefully that happens.
Exactly.
Well.
So we have talked for people. We have got contacted by a few people. We want to do a Paul Van Bellen, Ben Profit experience, where we basically, it's a bit like the Send It Academy, but less heavy on the coaching. So there'll be tips. We'll do video. And we discuss, obviously, I think this could be the best way to learn anyway, because sometimes it's too intense, but to go and experience, like, let's say a Peru or a Pakistan Mayo or something. And obviously we take a group of guys, could be girls, and video them. Obviously Paul's amazing with the drone, like a ninja. I've done, a fair bit of coaching in my time. So we give out tips and we probably make a video from the whole trip. And that would be the kind of premise of it. It would be more a trip, an experience to make a video and give tips and help people progress without it being like a boot camp, which sometimes Cape Town does turn into a bit of a boot camp, but it's my fault because I'm like trying to get people to do certain things. But I've noticed over the years, there are quite a few people who don't want that boot camp craziness. They just want a few tips every now and again and to be filmed and to, have the whole experience.
And also from our point of view too, it makes it a lot more interesting, other than just turning it into a full-on job type thing. And
it's fun. It is fun to spend time with passionate windsurfers who want to experience a new place as well. It's a fun thing to do, 100%.
Yeah, I'm definitely keen for Peru because I went there, I don't know, 7 years ago.
Too.
It's just it's good fun. It's just an easy sort of sailing, and we'll have to make it happen, Benny. To make it happen, mate.
Well, the problem is I had another kid that really threw a spanner in the works.
Is two the limit now, mate? Anymore? Or
it has to be. You never know. But,
oh God.
Chris says he's had 50 over 50 days sailing so far this year. Started in Exmouth and in Jarrow now. Okay, nice. There was some guy from Holland who I put in Send It Sunday last week, did 10,000 kilometers.
Oh, that's right.
That's a lot, isn't it?
It's crazy. It is a lot.
New Year's resolutions is to not be hard on conditions or session. A day at the beach is a good day. I agree. Go back to old school. Go back to old school. Don't think too much about trying to score the perfection.
Well, that's just a lesson for life, isn't it? Just appreciating whatever you've got, rather than wishing something that's not there, basically.
Yeah, agreed with that. Mango says to unshrink his harness. Yeah, I had the same problem, but I've fixed it by not eating. It worked. Moves, port tack forward, back ease, tack on the inside. It's good ones. No better training than surfing itself. Hate the gym. Perhaps some normal exercise would improve stamina. Yeah, I've seen it happen time and time again. People do all this CrossFit, do all this training, go windsurfing once, they are fucking out. It's so funny how windsurfing just finds muscles that you can't find anywhere else. Max says, get yourself over to Lisa on a forecast. I'll buy you a Greg Sprecky. That's not a bad deal. With Ben, I want a boot camp. Well, like I said, that's the Cape Town at the moment. Resolutions for 2026: become a member. It is time.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I know this was like a promotion, but I have just released a website. We're just going through some bugs and trying to organize everything. But basically, you guys can suggest a video. If you've seen a video on YouTube and you want it, you can suggest it. If you've got a channel you think we should be featuring, because what happens is it's all automated. Most of it. And we basically put the YouTube channel in. Obviously, Mr. Paul Van Bellen is on there. PWA is on there. George Grisley, obviously Windsurfing TV, the podcast. So basically, when they get uploaded to YouTube, it straight away goes on the timeline of Windsurfing TV. So the idea is to make this the hub of windsurfing, because when I go onto YouTube, what I noticed is I get sidetracked into all these other videos, and before you know it, I'm down the rabbit hole, which is nice. But sometimes I want to just go and look at windsurfing. Oh, see, this is the new thing on a feature. So the live just automatically appears without me doing anything. That's quite
there. We are, Benny. We're there, mate.
That's a new thing. Like George, my web guy, basically messaged me and said, do you want any help with a website? And it was just timing. I was like, yes. So we're going to do a challenge thing for this website. We were going to do its own challenge website, and then I decided actually it's better to be part of Windsurfing TV website, but then we needed a new website, so we went down the whole backward route, which was redesigning the whole website and the back end of it to be able to do it. So yeah, this is the website as it is now. It's very basic at the moment, just a timeline and some other stuff. You can send your content now through the website. And we're going to be adding and adjusting certain things, and you can log in. There's going to be the Beer Money membership that you can sign up for. So if you're already a member, you can go on the website, log in and attach it to the login for this site. So you sign in with Google. And then when we do the competitions, which the plan is to do more competitions in 2026, we've got some sales and stuff we're going to be giving away to members of Windsurfing TV. So there's a lot going on. I am busy. So if you see any problems with the website, please send them over. We are fixing little bits and pieces here and there, but we're going to be adding more stuff to it and make it more interactive and make it a more sort of community thing. Where anyway, I won't talk too much about it. I don't want to bore you all, but
no, that's everyone knows you through this. The website's looking good. I like it. It looks clean. Did you have this before, where there was just this sort of section where you could? No, okay.
No, this is new. So this is, again, we might have some teething problems with this, but this basically links straight into my Dropbox. It has to go into the web server thing first and then go Dropbox. So we don't know how it's going to work. So feel free, if you want to send a video, you can go onto the website and send a video, because I always get asked, how do I send a video? And it's WeTransfer, my email, and it gets a bit clunky. Maybe this is going to be better, and then I don't lose the videos in my whole inbox. So this system should sort it out. So yes, we will. Again, I'm looking for feedback. So any feedback is greatly appreciated. Any live video that the channel is added to Windsurfing TV will now straight away pop up when we're live on the channel. And what's really interesting is, look, I don't know if you can see this.
Well, there's an app.
There's an app.
Oh, okay. So what's the deal with the app? You can see it.
I didn't know you could do this, but apparently you can make it a shortcut link straight into your iPhone or your Android phone or whatever. And there is a steps you go through, and you basically, it's like 3 steps, and it just adds it to your phone as an icon. So then when you click on it, it acts like an app. So it just goes straight in, which I never knew you could do. So now it's got like the timeline on as an app format. So I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. So I'd probably make a video of how to do it. It's not very hard, but it's not something I knew how to do. So now I've got Windsurfing TV on my phone.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Bit of an upgrade. No, but I like the website. Yeah.
Oh shit! Press the wrong button. But anyway, there is things going on. We're gonna, like I said, there is lots of things going on, and I've got some visions, and I want to do this challenge thing, which will be the idea. I talked about it before, but it's now going to be integrated into the website, where you can basically make up your own challenges and people can join them, or you can have a group where you have your own personal intergroup and you can set up challenges within that, or Windsurfing TV will have some kind of big challenges for the year, and you'll be able to kind of like with the membership thing, it's going to all integrated. That's the plan. Again, will it take a bit longer than we thought? Maybe, but that's the plan, just to get you guys involved, give you some targets. Like if we had it all sorted now coming into 2026, we could be like, okay, we've already set a challenge up, join the challenge, and then you can have like a bit of social action with this, and you can put in videos, and we can make videos about the challenges. That's the plan. So what I was saying about having an easy 2026 might be totally wrong.
And Benny, what's this on your chest there? Mate? What's all that about?
Hey?
On your chest, I see some. What's going on here?
There is a bit of sponsorship news, which is not official yet, so I can't say anything too much. Well, not really. No, I haven't announced it, but there are clues. There are clues. There are a few clues around, but I'm going back to my roots. I've just announced today, I just put a social media post that I'm not going to be with O'Neill next year. So I leave in O'Neill. Again, amazing suits. I love the brand. Like I grew up watching O'Neill windsurfing events.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
I don't want to be negative about O'Neill, but I just feel they're not 100% on board with the windsurfing. They're still a massive they're surfing brands, yeah, but they're not for me where I want to be in terms of windsurfing. I feel like they could do more, and that sounds like a negative thing, but it's just how I was feeling. And the brand that I'm going to is definitely hardcore windsurfing. They've just got a new world champion. I was with them before, and well, anyway, I'll talk about it more when we come through. But, obviously the guy that set it up was a massive idol of mine. He is one who's influenced me as well in my early years. And so, yeah, it just felt right. Everything felt like it was lining up. We had some conversations. Yep. And then I thought, yeah, you know what? This is where I need to be going. And so I said to O'Neill, look, this has been great. Thank you very much. But I've got to go this way. It just feels right. It just feels the right route. So,
yeah. So we can't name names, but it's there on your shirt.
Well, we can do. I mean, it's like I kind of fix it. I just got a few like stickers. I don't know if that's like.
Oh yeah, I'll show. No, that's cool. Yeah. Well done. Yeah, I mean, it's cool
to do an official announcement.
Well, it's cool to support brands that the people behind the brands are into windsurfing.
I've got a new gate. Someone's at the gate.
Oh. Who could that? We got a special guest. Is our first female guest, is it? God, that chair looks quite worn in, doesn't it? How many podcasts he's done in that chair? We were talking about 2025 and what happened. We're still in January, so we need. Oh, Benny's back.
I'm moving into the new world with this electric gate video bonkers.
Who was it?
No, delivery. Maybe the magazine.
Oh, was it delivery? Maybe it's the stuff I sent you, Benny.
Maybe.
So what happened was I sent Benny like this posters and bits and pieces, and you send it to Portugal, and they've got this crazy customs thing where he's got to fill out all these forms and pay taxes and all this stuff, and then he tried to do it online, and then they sent him a message saying, oh, you didn't do it properly. We're sending it back to Australia. I was like, holy shit. I just sent a couple of posters. It's gnarly. Apparently every parcel is like that over there. So anyway, hopefully.
Not a magazine.
Well, is it the stuff I sent you?
No, Mrs. is Amazon.
Oh, Amazon just slips through. I've got the But Benny, should we finish? Because I mean, we only just started. Maybe the 2025 though. You're talking about the events and what happened this year. So I mean, we were talking.
No, but I think in terms of windsurfing visual stuff, I thought we saw some great stuff. Like in terms of what I've been involved with the PWA, I thought they've done a great job. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, which is not 100% clear. With certain things, I guess, which is again politically and but I don't get involved in that. I just see the output, and I thought it was really nice to see Mark Paré taking a world title. Obviously, not just because he's a friend and a team rider, but seeing someone new and someone who's been pushing super hard, get that. And I think that's motivating for everyone to see that it's possible to break into those top guys. Marsilio Brown's just looking so good. And obviously it went all the way to the last event and pretty much the end. But I thought it was good to see Mark get that. What else have we seen? We've seen Matteo Iachino, really smash it this year in the foil slalom. We'd obviously like to see more events. You can see by that. I mean, Sarah Kita, again, just looking so good, isn't she? I mean, she's not really slowing down anymore. Sol de Greek. I just did something for the PWA actually, which was actually interestingly. There's all these signing things you've got to do on the PWA now. I don't like it. Well, sorry, where was I going with that? Sol de Greek, I just did something for the PWA. George Grisley is getting involved with the PWA videos in the off season. So he just sent me through like a kind of mini script and basically talking about breakthrough riders. So that video in theory should be dropping maybe later today, maybe tomorrow, maybe wherever. And they're going to be doing some more stuff on the PWA in the off season as a build up to the season. So I think that will be interesting. But yeah, I thought.
Yeah.
No, go on.
Oh, and I was going to say shout outs to George Grisley. Actually, he dropped that cool video the other day where.
Oh man.
With they're going through the Trictionary book.
Yeah. So this is interesting. So I had this, obviously, like, and I've already said this to a lot of people, like, ideas are easy. You've got to implement the ideas. But I've got a list of things that I was meant to be doing, but this was one of them I talked about for ages, which was this spinning wheel, where it's basically what they're doing, but they're doing it with the Trictionary book, which I think is a great idea. But you basically spin the wheel, which says the move you have to perform, and then you spin it again to see the style you have to perform it in. And it was in Cape Town years ago. We were meant to be doing it, but I couldn't organize everyone to be in the bloody same place. You need a Bowles Muller for these type of things. And like, you know, the style could be one-handed, no-handed, naked, you know, like lots of different random things that you can add to a move. So it could be a simple tack, but naked. It could be a tack no-handed. It could be a shaka no-handed, which is obviously probably impossible, but you never know. If you've got the right people, this type of thing is fun. And that video, like you say, George did, it pushes you out your comfort zone. And this is, again, something that I want to do with this challenge thing on Windsurfing TV. That is the idea, is to take moves that you've maybe not thought about doing. Maybe they're not that difficult, like we saw on that video with the Willy Skipper, where these guys should be doing Willy Skippers, but they've never done them. They've never had to do it. Like,
I found that interesting, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
When they said that, I was kind of like, well, hold on, isn't that a big part of freestyle? Like that's a base maneuver.
It's old school for them. So
I know, but
to do it, it doesn't score many points. So when they've grown up, they haven't had to learn it. We had to learn it because it was one of the moves which scored some big points. And then it kind of drifted away from the high points into these big power moves. So they all just learned the power moves and forgot all the other stuff. And this, again, I know I keep going on about, but this goes back to a challenge thing. And we want to do exactly that with you guys at home. So let's say you've never done a heli tack or you've never done a push tack. And you think, why would you go out and learn it? But if it's in this challenge where maybe it's a tacking challenge and you have to do a fast tack on a shortboard, a heli tack, a push tack, you know, or whatever it is, I'm hoping this will have the same effect where it will push you guys to do something that you might not necessarily have thought about doing, you know, which I think is really cool. And again, you saw it with that video, how fun it is. And that's what makes windsurfing fun. There's so much to learn, but you have to push yourself.
And that Trictionary book is an underrated book. I mean, you know, like it's someone
amazing.
Like, so who's the author of that book again?
That's Mickey Rossmeyer.
Okay, but
I was in Cape Town. So I was in Cape Town when Law Tribeau, Simon Hurry were doing the translations and the writing for all those moves, and they were doing this book, and they were telling me about it. And his idea was to get this book in every library in the world or something, or if he could have a couple of copies. He was working out the numbers, and you know, and it's been a massive success because all those moves don't get old. Maybe the pictures do a little bit. But everything is still relevant 10 years, 20 years later. You know, it's like, it's amazing, really. So it's such a cool idea. Now he's done the same with kiting. He's done winging, I think, more recently. You know, what a great concept, because no matter what you have online, it's amazing. A book to have on the, you know, that, especially in some sort of like communal house or a house where you're with your mates, it's so good, a book. It's just there on the table, and it's hard not to look at it. You know, going back to what we said about Windsurf magazine earlier, I love it. You know, the Trictionary is an absolute, windsurfing Bible, says it on it.
Yeah. I was when I first found that book a few years ago, I was blown away at the size of the book and just how many pages and all the detail, the instructions and photos. It's crazy.
Oh, he spent some serious money on it, you know, back in the day. He was going to Dahab, going to here, taking professional cameramen, taking the pictures, you know, like I said, getting all these guys from around the world to write it, to check it. You know, it's a massive task. But like his vision was, once it's set up, it's set up. You know, maybe a few tweaks here and there, a couple updated pictures, but essentially the guts of it is there. It was like the Storm Rider for me, you know, when Storm Rider guide, that was an amazing book. We used that when we were traveling around Portugal.
Oh, right. Yeah, I haven't seen that book. Okay. That's for Europe, is it?
Yeah, well, Storm Rider was the original surfing one, where, you know,
Oh.
obviously
Oh.
diehard surfers get upset. Not all the spots are in there, but as a just total novice driving around Europe, you know, there was like little clues and little things and maps and when it works, if it works on a low tide. And, you know, it was like amazing. Then there was the one that did the windsurfing kiting one which was also pretty solid as well. I think Timo had something to do with that. Or it was good.
But yeah, shout out to all the YouTubers out there too. You know, Mario dropped a video the other day. I don't know if you saw that, where they were in Vietnam, like obviously testing some new boards. That was actually a really high quality produced video. You know, he sort of stepped it up, and obviously Nico Prian continues to maintain.
Dominate.
Actually, yeah, is it actually on Nico as well? A bit of gossip, but no longer the president, right, of PWA. Is that
jumping ship?
Yeah, is that's too much going on? Is it? Or
well, I'm not sure how much he was. You know, again, I don't know what these roles involve, but he's obviously a busy boy. He's doing a lot of things, and I don't think he could do. Maybe, you know, there's a few people stepping away. There's, again, behind the scenes of all this stuff, there's a lot of stuff going on. And when you're doing stuff for free, it takes a lot of energy, you know. It's quite draining, I think, which is why I've like made a decision a long time ago not to get involved with the politics behind the scenes. I try and stay out of it. I come in, I do a job, I go away, because I haven't got the mental capacity to deal with some of the shit that goes on. The problem is I'm quite opinionated and I have got ideas, and I have to really just I take my hat off, honestly, to all the guys that are involved, you know, for free and putting their energy in for whatever side they're coming from, because it's not an easy task. It's not an easy task when you've got lots of people with different ideas and all, you know, thinking what they think is the best way forward. And you know, some people are more logical, some people are thinking outside the box, and it's so difficult. I hate all those meetings. Like, I'm more a dictator. Like, you know, I'd almost like, I think in sport and this sort of stuff, having like too many people who have got a vote and different ideas and fighting, it makes things so complicated and draining. I would much rather vote in someone I think will make the best decisions and leave them to handle it. And yes, they can have like a board of people where they consult and they ask them for their opinions. They take in the opinions and they go away and they go, okay, I'm going to make this decision. And everyone is behind this person. I think this is the best way, personally, just because I've seen how much energy it takes out of people. This constant voting, arguing, not agreeing. It just kills you. It just kills you.
Yeah, it's obviously we have a lot of people with differing opinions, and everyone's got their idea of what works, and it ends up being a bit of a messy sort of situation, isn't it? So it'll be interesting to see how all this plays out as well. I mean, the thing is that there's a lot of well-intentioned people, you know, very passionate about the sport, but of course everyone's got a slightly different idea of what it's going to take to.
Imagine you're on this wave rally with a committee of people. How much more difficult is making decisions? Like a simple decision that you can make off the top of your head. Same with Windsurfing TV. If I've ever got to go through 5 different people, it's just already going to be like, oh, you just want to make the decision, move on. But you need someone you trust, and you have to trust them if you have that type of dictator. I don't know if it's the right word, dictator, but you know, like CEO, you know, whatever it is.
It's a good example because sometimes I basically do everything, wave rally, everything, just everything, right? Graphic design, sponsors, just everything. And sometimes I think, I should get someone else involved just to help. But then whenever I've tried, it's usually what happens is you end up going back and forth because one person wants a purple flag and the other one wants the red flag. And you end up just going, I'm just going to make a decision and run with this. Like you end up just kind of spending so much time on stuff, you know.
That's the problem. And some people have got more time than others, and they don't mind debating. And you're like, fuck, I've got other things to do. I can't be debating something which is a simple decision and is not going to change the world, you know. Everyone's got different ideas, but I can see what's happening with the governments at the moment. It's like sometimes you think, God, we just need to like have a route anyway.
Yeah. No, look, for sure. It's it'll be interesting, but thanks to I was gonna say thanks to Nico for his service. The other thing too is when you're someone like him or like someone like you, Ben, or whatever, but so much of their life or your life is dedicated to windsurfing. You're doing it professionally, you're doing it voluntarily, you're doing it, and sometimes there's there's a point where you draw the line and you go, okay, I can only do so much. I've got another life going on as well. You know what I mean? It's So,
it's very difficult, especially like for me. I work for myself. I'm juggling a few different balls, which obviously windsurfing TV, commentary, coaching, house, family, like a kid. And you're like, okay, it's like it's life. It's like that's what everyone's doing. I know I'm definitely not complaining, but I do want to do more videos, personal videos. That is kind of like a goal, but I want to kind of combine it with the family because I've got to spend more time with them. So it's like I need to do like mishmash a few together. And maybe, one of the balls is going to drop. I don't know which one it is yet, but because you got to, it's not just yet. We'll see. We'll see. I got a lot of there's a lot of good stuff coming, I think.
I wanted to also just quickly address something too, because there's in case you're not aware, but Ben's started up a few WhatsApp groups related to windsurfing TV, and there's a few like sub chapters within that group. Like there's like a banter group. Quite a lot of people are in it. People just a bit of a community. And a few months ago, I dropped on there that there was some talk about various people trying to unify, if you like, to the racing elements of windsurfing, because you've got this PWA, and then there's all these local events. I mean, Wave Rally is one of them, but there's hundreds of all sorts of racing related events, and there's some talk about somehow trying to give all these events a ranking of some sort. So whether you do a Wave Rally or a PWA event or your local slalom event, whatever, that you end up on some sort of leaderboard. So I sort of briefly talked about this on this WhatsApp group. Apparently, there are some talks behind the scenes to try to make this happen. I don't know if it's progressed a lot at the moment, but I guess it's more of a watch this space type of thing and see if all the parties can come together. Because the issue as well is you've got PWA, which have got their thing going. You've got the WWT as they're now known, which is doing their thing. You've got IFCA, you've got IQ Foil, you've got this, you got all these different elements. And
stronger together.
Can you somehow bring it together into something? But obviously,
it goes back to what I said before. There's so many different people with different ways, and everyone's doing their own thing. And it's like saying to me, okay, Ben, you and Nico Preen and Mario are going to join together. You're like, oh, well, I like to do my thing how I want to do it, And it's I don't mind working with them or collaborating, but do I want to mix it and then have to make decisions with them? It's very difficult. And I think this is the problem we're getting. And there is a bit of pushback from certain organizations about the merger and to work out who's got the highest ranking. And
it's tricky. It's very tricky. So but anyway, watch this space. Who knows? Maybe something will come of it. Basically, everything's evolving all the time, isn't it? Nothing seems to be standing still. There's always
the universe is expanding.
It's expanded, but what I mean is with windsurfing, if you've been doing it long enough, you've seen it go through a whole bunch of iterations and changes, and it continues to do that, isn't it? So it's
we're gonna push on. Obviously, the clue is in the title, Windsurfing TV. The Windsurfing Podcast. We are sticking with windsurfing. We're not flick-flacking around for the new greatest thing. This is the greatest thing. It's just some people don't see the wood for the trees. You know what I mean? It's like they will come back, and if they don't, fuck them.
Oh, fuck them! Here we go.
We don't want them. We don't want them if they don't see it. If you don't see it, you don't need it.
Who are you actually talking about, Benny? I'm a bit confused. Are we talking about non-windsurfers?
Winger ding dingers.
Oh, winger dings.
Kiters. Like, some of them come back, some of them see the light, but it doesn't matter. Windsurfing, again, will we see any brands disappear? There is rumors. I hear.
Is there?
Whoa, well, that's always rumors. There's been rumors for years. But a lot of brands are passion projects anyway. They're not making millions and billions and whatever. They're run by like super keen windsurfers, and I don't see those guys going anywhere. But I do see some brands pushing. I see, different things. It's still exciting. I still love it. I think if you are a windsurfer, definitely get involved if you can with all the disciplines. Don't just pigeonhole yourself in one place if you've got the time, obviously, because it is time consuming. Some people like to just be a wave sailor and go when it's 4-7 weather or windier. That's fine. Do what you want. But I think the more you expand it into other areas, the more it can be interesting. Definitely there is a winger ding ding, a light wind, and a 4-7 and windier wave sailor out there. We're okay with you. Don't worry. We're all right with you. You can come in. You can
I have to say I'm actually a lot it's the wingers I find a lot less confronting than the kiters.
What?
Well, I prefer to see someone winging than kiting.
Oh yeah, no, kiting is not even on the same page. At least, like winging, I can wing. Like before you know it, before you see a picture of me winging, I can wing. I can do it. It's like yeah, it's all right. I get it, and I see why certain locations fit winging perfectly. It's fine, but I believe if you are a windsurfer and you wave sail 4-7 and above, 5-0, playing in good way, there is no way you're leaving it. It doesn't just disappear. If you are totally leaving it for winging, you have not reached that level of windsurfing where it's holding you. Like there's something you've missed something. Go back and find the piece you've missed. Because if you've got that piece, there's no way. Look at Bowles Muller. He's an amazing winger. Well, look at his windsurfing. He's still busting out the stuff. He still loves it. Every time I see him and he's actually on the fin, he's like, this is the best. And that's no joke. Don't get me wrong. He still loves all the other stuff, but once you're at that bit, you're loving it. So
basically, we all have to get to Balls' level and then we're hooked. Okay.
No, don't need to get to Balls' level. You need to get to that level where it doesn't become a thing you can just discard. Because once you get to that point, there's something missing. You can't discard it. For sure. But as sorry, who said that before? Someone said, Max, when he made this point here, not to be harder conditions or sessions. I find with windsurfing, you do have to develop that mind state where you really appreciate what you're doing. I find like that's just, as you do that, windsurfing becomes even more enjoyable, doesn't it? There's a classic video online with this bald-headed dude. And he's in this looks like some sort of desert place quite far from anywhere. And he's going out over the reef, and then he looks out. He says, "Look at this! Look at this! It's amazing!" I can't remember what you said.
Hold on, this is me. What was this?
In Nalu, where you're like going out.
Okay. I can't. Okay. So when you said looking out over I got confused because I was looking out over the desert. I was actually on the water, and I'm sailing along, and I'm like, "How good is this?" Like, because it was one of those, the sun's shining, the water's blue. It was a nice breeze, and you're just skipping across the water, and you're kind of there just going, "How many people get to experience this?"
Yeah.
Like I'm literally in Australia, and you're at a place where there's barely 10 windsurfers, and pretty much, and then you think there's a whole country operating right now. Like right as I'm windsurfing, there's people just doing whatever they're doing in Australia, it's in the buildings, working in factories, doing whatever they need to do to survive, live, whatever. And I just happen to be on the water, skipping across the water on a board, like just going, how fortunate is this? I mean, it sounds weird when you say it, but you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, there's like 26 million people in this country, and they're not going to experience what I'm experiencing right now.
Yeah.
Like
this is what happens when you get weird.
Oh yeah, you get just totally.
You do. No, but you do. you start appreciating the moments. It's like I have never appreciated sitting on the toilet as much as I do now.
Oh, yeah, hanging your shit's great, isn't it?
It's the quietest place in the house. And I'm like, oh, this is nice. And now I understand what all those people were saying. And the same with windsurfing. Now going out on a free ride board and just with the fin, and I'm just like, did I appreciate this as much as I do now? No. Like everything is starting. As I get older, I'm starting to appreciate moments way more. Taking the dog for a walk, I'm starting to go, oh, this is nice.
But what's better, like planing or sitting on the toilet? Which one you know?
Well, that's a close one, to be fair. When all hell's breaking loose inside the house, and I'm like in my safe spot, I'm like, oh, wish that magazine would turn up.
You know, you're getting old when sitting on the toilet is one of the best parts of your day. It's just.
No, you know you got kids. You know you got kids. Sitting on the toilet is the best part of the day. It's like the only safe space. I can lock the door. I'm like, don't disturb me. I'm busy. Been in there an hour. What's he doing?
I know. Sometimes we get a bit philosophical on here, but it's one thing that windsurfing has taught me. I think you can get it from a lot of different things, obviously, but windsurfing has a habit of slapping you around. You know, like the other day, I went for a windsurf. I got to the beach. Not many people were planing. I thought, it's not much wind. I rigged a 5.3. I got on the water. 10 minutes later, it's blowing 25 plus knots. I'm like, I was so overpowered. This is not very enjoyable. And whatever. Went back onto the beach, just sort of chilled out a bit. Then the wind died down to about 15 to 20, and I got out. And it was just one of the best sessions I've had in ages. You know, so like it went from just, you know, not really enjoying it to enjoying it. And then you just sort of realize, it's interesting windsurfing. It tests you. It just tests you. I think it makes you a better person ultimately if you sort of let it do it, you know. But if you fight it too much, it's you'll just come out probably a bit bitter. No, but it's true though, eh? It's definitely, it's probably part of the reason why so many of us continue to do it. I reckon it's So it's but as far as the 2025 though, Benny, like the other events, I mean, we sort of just briefly touched about it, but you obviously were like, are you continuing to do what you did in 2025 for 26, like all the commentating? Is that the plan?
That's the plan.
Yeah.
Again, things can change, but at the moment the plan is to do it very similar, but I've got a few things I want to just jig around a little bit, but that's the plan at the moment. So we'll see, but I think it's going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to 2026. I hope it's a better year for wind in Europe. That is what I definitely hope, because that changes the mood within a sport. Like as we touched on earlier, if it's a windy year, windsurfing will thrive. That's what happens. We need wind. You know, you don't need wind, but majority, if we have a windy year, I think everyone does better. Everyone is happier. So, what's this? I think in 26, well, hang on, we'll read this. I think in 26, I will get some winging gear since it is the most convenient and I do not have conditions, and will be renting windsurfing equipment when on vacation. Hope still wait. Well, that is, what do you think? Is he welcome? Should we kick him out?
Yeah. You're welcome. Everyone's welcome.
Everyone can do what they want to do. I think it makes sense. Like, I think learning a new sport, like learning winging, was fun, but I thought it got old very quickly. Again, maybe you live in a different location where maybe it doesn't get old, and that's up to you. But we're going to be keeping it 100% windsurfing, well, 99% windsurfing on this channel.
I am really interested with winging to see the timeline of its popularity, because as we've seen with windsurfing, massive boom, peaked out, dropped down to sort of where we are now. Same sort of thing happening with kiting, although it's still relatively popular, but it has dropped off a bit of a hill. And now I am curious for winging to see. I'm assuming it'll go through a similar kind of trajectory at some point, huh?
Yeah. Well, again, I think I keep saying it, but there's certain locations where winging makes sense. I totally see it. I do get it. And foiling makes sense, just in general. And then there's certain locations which you don't need it as much.
Sorry. Look at his comment.
What does it say?
I'll never wing. Fuck that. That's just awesome. He's a true Patreon.
Exactly. Yupster says you guys should do a podcast annual awards. Could be gold. You're right. Actually, we could come up with a few. We could at least start it with a few. What awards should we give out if you were going to do awards?
Best windsurf podcast.
Guy Lenny. I'm living where we have wind rarely, but there is no way I will start winging.
Oh,
you're in the club.
Rarely.
So true, Paul. And for windsurfers, it's even more than for dinghy sailors.
Oh, okay.
Alternate awards could be really nice if the categories are sufficiently far out. Well, what have we got? Best YouTuber award, Windsurfing Best YouTuber award in 2025 goes to.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's a good question.
We'll have to do a vote.
Well, that's it. I was going to say, how are the?
It's got to be Nico Preen, hasn't it? But I think newcomer award, Mario has been doing some good stuff this year. I also think Niels has actually stepped up a bit. George has stepped up. There's a couple of newcomer awards, not that they're newcomers, but they've put in more effort in, and you notice it. So I think this is always nice to see. Event of the year.
Event of the year.
Best event of the year.
That's a good question. Maybe, like, as you say, Benny, everyone listening, put in your votes. I'd love to hear what people are thinking. Event of the year. Now I'm just quickly trying to go through. I mean, I always really enjoy the Fuerteventura event just because, it's that classic sort of racing on that beautiful blue water, and that's pretty cool. I always like that.
I look forward to Furta actually. I actually enjoy commentating it. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. It just delivers, doesn't it? It's a perfect spot for an event.
It's hardcore. So you get close racing, you get crashes, you get everything. It's not easy for the riders. That people don't see that on the screen. It is rough, man. It is so difficult. More difficult than it looks. Like 100%.
Yeah. I also think the Aloha Classic is really good as well, because now we've got the drone pilot, which last year or the last event, Rudy did a good job, and I actually quite enjoy following that too. Huh? The Aloha is pretty cool.
Okay, worst attitude. Who's got the worst attitude? Who's had the biggest outburst?
The worst attitude, like we're talking. Okay,
I can only go off a rumor. I heard Kai Lenny. Went crazy. Again, I wasn't there, so I don't know. But I heard he went off. Yeah,
well, I think probably hard to judge this one because everyone's going to have their reasonings why they went off, and Kai, I'm sure, has got his own reasonings.
Oh, is that because he's your friend? You're not allowed to.
He's
say
my best mate. No, but it's a tricky one, is it? Yeah. No, but I just meant like. I get what I'm saying is with that particular incident.
Matt check in the car with you.
Yeah. No, but obviously you were talking about the Kai Lenny and Antoine, but what you don't see with a lot of those things is there's probably either history or something that's going on. Yeah, you know what I mean? So
it's never straightforward. It's never straightforward.
Yeah,
we live in this world where you have to justify everything. You can't just say anything.
No, but no. Also, so Kai Windsor, meltdown of the year.
Well, I don't know. Meltdown of the year could be. Oh, no. Obviously, meltdown of the year must be Justine Lemaitre in Japan.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
not uncalled for, but just in terms of like, biggest moment, biggest collapse, biggest high and low. Well, I don't know what the right word would be, because she went from like all-time low, all-time high. Like the two emotions were like, couldn't be any further apart, and you couldn't see it coming. It was ridiculous. Like that was crazy. Wins a world title in the end, but at the one point it looked like she was going to end up third, and it like just self-destructed, like in front of the live. It was just fucking hard to commentate. I was like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. I don't want to be here. I don't even want to talk about it. It just felt wrong. Oh, it's really hard, that one.
It's good to see it, though. It's what we want to see.
Yeah, but it gives you that emotion, which is what makes it, that I said it before in the commentary quite a lot, but that is what makes sport. The emotion is what makes you realize, or the crashes or the tears is what makes you see how much it means, because without the meaning behind it, it's just a result. So if you've got no emotion, okay, this guy won. He's won another one. No emotion, fine. But the ones with the emotion, you see how much energy they put into it and passion they put into it, and whether they make it or don't make it, that's what great sport is about. It's not about the actual performance, I think. Obviously, the performance is part of it. You obviously need the performance, but you need that emotional side. Otherwise, it don't work. Or it isn't great. It's okay.
Award for best commentator of the year?
I think Sandy Klumas has actually done a good job. Nobody has. I think he's got a good voice for it. He's got that Scottish voice. Quite like it.
Actually, we don't give probably enough credit to freestyle on this podcast. We don't often, we're often talking about the wave stuff, the slalom, and we don't really talk much about the freestyle events, huh?
You've obviously not been listening to me recently. I reckon it's coming back. I got plans to do some old school, new school freestyle videos and some more stuff, because I feel like it's a forgotten thing, and we all talk about this amazing new school stuff. But again, George Grisey video, Willie Skipper, this type of stuff, which is was kind of new school in the early 2000s, but now it's old school, but it's not carving. There is a place for this, and no one's promoting it. No one's talking about it. And everyone's just talking about this really hard shit that they're doing massive stuff. And I think this puts people off. So I feel like there needs to be this entry, old school, new school stuff going on. Yeah.
I think that's from where I'm sitting, especially as you get
challenge windsurfing TV. Yes, that's where it's coming in. Yeah.
No, but that's a good point, because I look at freestyle now. Whenever I see it come up on Instagram or YouTube, and it's gone so extreme that I can't relate to it. I'm just looking at it, just going, "What is going on?" I can't.
Yeah.
Can I just start? Well, yeah, it's. Yeah, exactly. So it's
like snowboarding and spinning around freaking like a million times.
1,000 times.
You start to go, oh, I don't understand it. Whereas when they do a big stiffy, for want of a better maneuver.
Is that a move, a stiffy?
I think so. It's like a grab.
Is it?
It looks cool. They do 360. And I think this is where, again, everyone's got their own things, but because I'm the dictator here at Windsurfing TV, this is what I want to do a bit more focus on, is that Vulcan, Spock, Willie Skipper, Spock 540 era of freestyle, and do a little bit of buzzing around on that, because I think it's interesting.
Yeah, no, I'd be more up for that, because all that other stuff is just, it's beyond me. I'm just too much going on. Yeah. And ultimately it'll make more people want to, just try some freestyle again, I reckon. Otherwise it's just too
exactly. I think that's the goal. I think it's kind of missing at the moment. Again, it could be from where I'm looking, and maybe everyone's like, it's fucking going strong, Ben. You're just not watching the right things, or you're not. I'll go, okay, fair enough. But I do feel we have definitely neglected it on Windsurfing TV, and I feel like we could do a bit more focus on it, I think. So anyway, I might have to go, because it is New Year's Eve and the missus has got the kids, so she's probably cursing me right now, and I'm hiding in here. This is my other safe spot. I'm doing a podcast, babe. I'm very
I'm busy. I'm supporting the family.
Exactly.
Not beautiful. Well,
5, 6 thanks, babe. I got 5, 6.
Thanks to everyone for joining in for 2025, and we hope that the new year brings you an excellent year with wind and health and happiness. And thanks to everyone for creating this community. It's awesome.
And let us know in the comments. I know we ask this a lot, but the more we see things that is wanted by different people and the same people, we see how much like effort we have to put in to go and make these things happen. If someone just says, "Oh no, carry on," okay, fine, that's okay. But if you've got ideas of who you want on the podcast, what you want us to do or focus on, I will try to put a bit more effort into the planning, because I like the idea of the awards. We could come up with some funny awards. We could still do that as we go into the next months. Like there's not a very early season on the Peterborough anyway. It's like the first event is way away. So we could still look back over 2025 and give out some funny awards and some serious ones. I think it'd be quite fun. Yeah. But that means a lot of planning. I'll have to do some work. Oh my God.
And before all that, obviously I'll be doing this Wave Rally event, not this weekend after. So we'll do another podcast and I can give you a bit of a roundup of what happened there.
Yeah. Get involved, people. Get involved. If you're over in Australia, or you can get some cheap tickets, get over there. Get
entries. Or even if you don't want to enter the event, just even come down to the beach and just make up numbers on the beach. You know, it all helps.
Even if you can't be there, just enter.
No. That's cool too. Yeah. Make a donation. I like it. All right, guys.
Boano, as they say over here in Portugal. My Portuguese is very good.
What's that mean?
Boano. Happy New Year.
Yeah. Oh,
happy. Good year. I don't even know what it means. Good year.
Cool. All right, guys. Happy New Year, everybody. And I can just push this button. Till next time.
Oh, beer money.
Huh? Oh, quick.
$4.99 mango tree. What a legend.
Wow, awesome.
I can tell the missus I've earned €5. $4.99. She's going to be happy now.
Mango
I'll send you one in the post.
He's always in the podcast, isn't he?
What a legend.
Thank you. Good on you, mate.
Podcast legends.
Right, yeah. Cool. All right. Bye.
Goodbye. Bye-bye. Happy New Year, mate. Have a good one.
Happy New Year. Yeah, great, Benny.
It's that time of the week again. Sit back, relax, we got the brain of band. No need to stress, in the house is Van Bellen. The game is windsurfing, you can't yell them or tell them. We get the news, the views, the win biz. The brand's gear, tips plus the world's best quiz. The cogs, PWA. We're professionals without the pay. There's nothing in pole dancing that we won't chat. From tandem boards to a windsurfing cat. It's your one-stop shop for a laugh and listen. Tune in each week or you'll be doing the missing.